Welcome to Family Tree Nuts. This video is to tell you who we are and what we do. I'm Russ Carson Jr., the genealogist and the founder of Family Tree Nuts. And for years, I kept hearing people say, I'd love to know about my ancestors, but I don't know how, I don't have the time, and I don't want to pay for those expensive membership fees. So in 2017, I founded Family Tree Nuts. Family Tree Nuts is a full-service history and genealogy service with nuts, some people would call them teammates, all over the country. First and foremost, our primary mission is to build family trees for clients. We do the research and build simple or detailed family trees and provide our clients with professionally written reports that are keepsakes forever. We have many different levels of our service plans to meet most needs or budgets. Our plans are listed on our website, and we can provide you with many different examples and testimonials. We also produce historic videos, and we make 3 different types of these videos. First, we make videos about historical people or places. Many of these are produced for historical and tourism organizations. Second, Ancestor Stories, which are with a client at a relevant location of an ancestor sharing their story. And third, life interviews, with elder family members documenting their lives. We make many of these videos on Facebook Live, so be on the lookout for those as well. Thanks for checking us out, and make sure you follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Let us know how we can help you with your history and genealogy needs. You can contact us at info@familytreenuts.org. And remember, Family Tree Nuts, let our nuts find the nuts in your family tree. And it looks like we are live. We are live. What's up, everybody? This is Colonel Carson with Family Tree Nuts. And we have got a very special guest with us tonight. A man that's a leader in the industry, I guess you should say. Chris, tell him who you are.
Hey, how are you today? Don't make me sound too excited now. I'm just a normal guy with a YouTube channel. That's about it. But I appreciate that very kind introduction anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm real excited about this because not only am I there, I thought I froze there for a second. This is live, folks. This is live. Not only am I excited to have you on here with us, but also excited because I'm a fan myself of what you do and what I've been keeping an eye on your channel for about 2 years now. So real excited about having you here. And a lot of people that like our videos are going to love your videos as well, because we do things that are extremely similar but very different. And before I forget, make sure everybody chime in, let us know where you're watching from, and also ask any questions, make any comments to Chris. I'll make sure that we ask him, and so he can get that out there to us. But not to spoil the whole daggone show, but Chris makes videos at cemeteries of famous people. Does that sum it up good enough?
Yeah, good enough. I started out really doing famous graves, but as I've progressed a little bit, I do just normal cemetery tours. And a while back, I asked my viewers what they wanted to see. And, me being from Northeast Kentucky, they wanted to see country cemetery tours. So famous graves, country cemeteries, basically any video I do is going to have some sort of a cemetery or famous grave visit that goes along with it.
That's great. That's good. So how in the world, well, let me back up. The name, let me back up again, because I forgot to say right at the very beginning, I'm going to ask you this multiple times too at the show, because people, chime in and out and things. What is the name of your YouTube channel?
Whittdocs Cemetery Tours, which my last name's Whitt, and I like to produce short little documentaries. So Whittdocs, that's how the name came to be.
Yeah, and it's on your hat so they can look at it the whole entire time. So make sure you go over to Whittdocs Cemetery Tours and subscribe to his channels, because you're putting out videos all the time, so you get to see those things. So let's see. Don says hello from Southern Ohio. He's not too far from me. I think he's Portsmouth way, or maybe over Arnton. And Charlene says
we're practically neighbors.
Yeah, no doubt.
Practically neighbors. Yeah.
Yeah. Bob says howdy from Monroe, Georgia. Taven says Nashville, Tennessee area. Chuck is in Ashland. I don't know if you know Chuck, but he's watching with you.
I know it, Chuck. Yeah, maybe. If that's you, Chuck, hey, how are you?
Yeah, man, absolutely. So first off, how did you get started doing this?
Well, the very first video I'd done was never intended for YouTube. I had some family that I actually had connected with through Ancestry, and they had never met our shared great grandmother. So what I wanted to do was just, produce a short little documentary about her life. And the very first cut of the documentary was me visiting her grave. So I started at the cemetery, told the story of her life, and that is really how Whittdocs got started. Unintentionally, but that's how it got started.
I like it. I like it. Yeah, it's similar to the way I got started too, making these videos. But so Whittdocs, that was your first. You met him on Ancestry, so that means that you like genealogy as well, right?
Oh, I do. I do. I love history, and when that history is about me and my family, it just makes it even better.
That's right. That's right. What's your favorite historic time period?
Well, I mean, a lot of mine recently, I go through spells. I love presidential history, but right now, my viewers have really been enjoying these Hatfield and McCoy videos. So 1860s is where I'm stuck right now. I'll get out of there eventually, I guess.
Yeah, I understand that. I try to stay away from that time period. I can't win. If I do a Union video or a Confederate video, I've already made half the people mad. So we try not to do a whole lot of Civil War era stuff. But what was next? So you made that first video. Why did you make a second?
Well, at that time, I wanted to start making. I love documentaries. It's some of my favorite types of movies. I love history, so I thought, maybe I should start doing that as well. And my first famous grave that I visited was actually Jim Varney, which played Ernest P. Worrell in Lexington, which I recently, the first video, it was awful. You know how it is. The very first video cemetery visit I done, I wore some kind of a stupid, silly hat. I don't know what I was thinking. It was terrible. So I actually went back a few months ago and re-recorded that and told his story a little more properly. But I was going to kind of brand myself as more of a history channel. I did that first cemetery visit, and I have been visiting cemeteries ever since.
So not necessarily history like what we do. You actually hit the cemeteries. Your videos are almost exclusively in a cemetery.
That's right. And I've been saying that recently in my videos, is that my channel is 100% cemetery related. Now, I may tell different stories. I may have different angles as far as the videos and the visits, but every video is going to be cemetery related.
So there's not a whole lot of people to argue with you there, right?
Oh, no.
Cemetery. But there definitely is interruption. There's definitely interruption, especially if you're doing famous people graves. It took me about 17 hours to do Colonel Sanders, because everybody kept coming up there.
Yeah. I get it. I do get that. And I try to wait for people to clear out and all that. I try not to make a scene,
Right. Yeah, absolutely. I end up becoming a docent, kind of thing. I'm the one telling them about the people, who they are. They think I work there sometimes, if you're standing there with your tripod and sitting there and you have another shooter and everything like that. Amanda says she's watching from Beaufort, South Carolina. She's a regular tapophile. I know what that is, Amanda. That's a big word for me up here in Kentucky.
I got you covered on that. That is actually just a term for someone who likes to visit cemeteries. That's the fancy word. I don't use those fancy words, but I do know that one.
I'm surprised I didn't know that one there. How about that? Don says hello from Clarksville, Arkansas. Sandy is watching from Sandy Carson. What a cool name she has. Like that last name. She's watching from Louisville. And Chuck and Anita Daniels says, "Hey, brother, is that your Chuck?"
Hey, Chuck, there you are. How you doing, buddy? I work with Chuck.
Yeah, man. He says, "Yeah, man. All right, good deal." Says you're doing a fine job. And Vicky Abel says, "Have you seen any Blankenship graves?"
Probably. It's one of those things. I see so many that it's hard to keep up with all of them and hard to remember all of them. But I'm sure I have.
And Angel Meadows says, Whittdocs, love your channel, she said. Like,
Oh yeah.
I don't know if you know Angel.
Oh, I know Angel, all right. Yeah, we're actually getting married sometime later this year, Mrs. Whittdocs. And I'll tell you what, really, a lot of these videos stem from some of the ideas and research that she's done. So, yeah.
That's great. That's awesome. That's great. So you did the Jim Varney thing and stuff like that. When did you actually start doing this? Did you do any blogs or anything, or did you go straight into the videos?
I went straight into the videos as far as the content that I provide, but I've always enjoyed cemeteries. So I really wish that, well, timing is everything, I guess, and maybe it just wasn't meant to be, but there's so many places I've seen throughout the years that I would have loved to have videos of now, but gives me an excuse to go back, I guess.
Yeah, no doubt. You definitely got to make them. When actually did you start making your videos?
Well, it's been about 2 years ago, thereabouts. Actually, the family that came to visit, I believe, was 2 years ago this past March. So, yeah, about 2 years.
Just 2 years, and you guys have grown to an YouTube sensation. Got your own apparel shop and everything like that on there now. So went bronze there.
Well,
what back last fall kind of thing. So and those of you who don't know what bronze is, they have more than 10,000 subscribers and things. But apparel shop. Can someone get a hat or a shirt like that you've got on?
Yeah, actually, in every one of my more recent videos, I put links in there to where people can find me. Facebook, I have Instagram, which I'm a little more active on Facebook than I am on Instagram. But my merchandise shop, I've always got links in there on all my videos, just places you can find me.
That's good. That's good. What's your favorite video that you've done? Not your most popular, but what's your favorite video? What was
That's hard to say. I really enjoyed I took a trip to Indiana and I visited a lot of graves there, and John Dillinger, which I've actually got a clip of that with us. It's clip number 1, Jordan, of John Dillinger. And as far as that story is fantastic. And I don't know if I could really say it's my favorite. It's hard to do a favorite, but that one really sticks out. I enjoyed telling his story, and what a story he had to tell.
Well, let's go ahead and show that now, if that's all right, because it gives some people some ideas of the type of videos that you do.
Sure.
Born June 22nd, 1903, John Dillinger seemed to find himself in trouble from an early age. During his younger years, Dillinger found himself in trouble often, normally for petty theft and fighting. He was born in Indianapolis, Indiana. He quit school to work in a machine shop. His father, who reportedly was a stern disciplinarian, moved his family to Mooresville, Indiana, fearing that the big city was corrupting his son.
Yeah. So that's a good example right there.
Yeah, that's a little example. Of course, if you watch some of my earlier videos, it's going to look like a totally different channel, but that's one of my more recent, and that's what I like to do. I just love telling the stories. And one thing that I love doing is I love music too, so I try to match up the music with the story that I'm telling. So yeah, John Dillinger, that whole trip to Indianapolis and into Indiana was just a fabulous trip. I would recommend that. Crown Hill Cemetery is where that's at, and there's just all kinds of notable graves there to visit.
Do you go to like a website? I know that there's a couple of online directories, as to things. Do you look for certain people and then go from there, or do you look for areas and look and see who's there? What do you do?
I normally look in areas. If I'm going to be somewhere, me and Mrs. Whittdocs like to go on hikes a lot. So if we can find something interesting in the same vicinity of a hike, we'll stop. Most of the time it is by area.
Okay, so look for the area and then see what's there. That's what I tell a lot of people, that there is so much history out there. I could film videos for 6 months in my own county and never leave, kind of thing, because there is so much history everywhere. everywhere. Now, that history may not interest everybody, but there's definitely stories all over the place. What when you find out, like, how much time do you spend researching before you actually go out and shoot the video? You find that it comes pretty easy?
Yeah, and normally what I do is I'll research something that has some sort of notoriety or some sort of story to tell. I will go film, and then honestly, most of my research is done during editing and production of the video. I'll find a place that I know is of interest, or I'll say it again, Mrs. Whittdocs will find a place that is interesting. I will go there, and then I'll really start opening up the book and digging in deeper once I get the filming done.
Okay, so you shoot a lot of B-roll and stuff, and do then a lot of the voiceovers and such and stuff. So I have seen your face in the video, but it's not as in there as much, I guess. So I don't know, man. Maybe you show your face a little more. I don't know what your demographics are. To females might go up a little bit. You know.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, man. Beverly Carol Salmons-Witt says that she loves that video. And Gail Trent Rogers says that we love the video of his grandfather, Walter R. Salmons.
Yeah, that was the most special one that I've done. It may not mean anything to anybody outside my family. And also that Beverly, hi, Mom. Thanks for watching.
Right. Oh, that's your mother. Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I'd say the demographics in Grayson, Kentucky are high tonight. I can see that already. And Ashland too, Chuck. I know you're there. Or somewhere over in there, I think.
Yeah, man. And Charlene Salmon says that she loves your videos. She's a faithful watcher. And
well, she is. That's my grandmother. It's a family affair tonight.
Just pass the word out there. So, yeah, man, good deal. So, but what's been the craziest thing to happen while you were out shooting a video?
Well, luckily, I haven't had too many crazy things happen. I've had some crazy things happen outside of shooting the videos. Like I had somebody send me a message wanting to fly me to Ireland to film. I'm like, I appreciate that, but you don't know anything about me. I may just be a real slob. I may move in and never move out,
I might pick them up on that. Send that email my way, man.
I'll forward it on to you.
Yeah, you haven't had anything, we've had the cops called on us a couple times, so, but I don't believe that fences and barriers are meant to hold back history. So I'm not saying I've trespassed per se, but we try to go get a story. So you've had any stories like that?
Nothing crazy like that. No, I mean, really, I've been fortunate on that. I really haven't had anything crazy or ran into anybody crazy. You've got some online crazies, a lot of keyboard commandos out there, but nothing actually out in the field.
Nonstop. It just blows your mind. I'm like, they're pretty hateful on there, aren't they? I just laugh at that, kind of thing. So, but that's really
normally I just give them of course, when they come with one of the comments, I'll normally just say thanks for watching with the exclamation point. That generally calms them down a little bit.
Absolutely, man. Chris Guyton says, Chris Guyton, didn't he play for Ohio State football? Remember there Chris Guyton that played there? But anyway, I said, when are you coming to film in South Georgia?
Well, when are you and my cousin Jennifer going to let me come stay at your house? I take that back. Now they have given me a lot of offers over the years. I want to do that. We got to wait for all this Corona stuff to go by. But yeah, I'd love to.
It's been a great time to go out and film during this Corona stuff. There's been less people about, kind of thing. And have you done any videos with other people? Have you done any videos with other people? Like on site, or is it just yourself?
Just me.
Since you're at the cemetery, they don't talk back to you, so, or have they?
No, the clientele seems to be very satisfied. But I would love to, and actually, I would love to do that if someone, I thought about even putting that out through my social media. If someone had someone they knew of in their family that had some sort of a crazy or interesting story, offer to research that out a little bit and do a video on them. So that's something that, I may consider in the future. I would constantly want to expand and, give a different type of video sometime.
Yeah, it's definitely a niche for sure because, we have a thing we call Ancestor Stories where we make videos at the locations of somebody's ancestor. Somebody maybe had built their whole entire family tree, but we actually go out there with them and produce the video, so they can tell about their ancestors in their very own words. So
yeah, that's a great idea. You've got a lot. I mean, I've been keeping up with you, watching your videos. You got a lot of great concepts. I love them. So yeah, I've been subscribed to you for a while now.
Yeah, appreciate that. Yeah, man. We're growing leaps and bounds. That's for sure. What's your best video? What's your best performing video that you have out there?
The best performing one I actually was in Nashville a while back, and I went to the cemetery and I'm gonna be honest, I didn't know this when I went there. I started looking things up actually while I was there, and there's several people, 2 or 3 people from the Patsy Cline plane crash that are buried there. So I told that story, and then the story of the Grand Ole Opry legend String Bean was his name, and he had the end of his life was horrific. Well, they're all buried in that same cemetery, and that one really took off. As far as recently goes, on that trip to Indiana, and I brought a clip of it as well. Clip number 2, Jordan. We filmed. Mrs. Whittdocs found we had talked about going to one of these dollhouse graves, and there was one in Alabama that we had actually looked at going to. Well, she found these in Indiana, which is just right down the road from where I was filming anyway. And that's been my most recent best performing video, is the cemetery dollhouse video. And I do have a clip of that with me to show you, Jordan. That's clip number 2. Really just sad stories. I mean, it's heartbreaking. These young children had passed away, and their families had basically made these dollhouses for them, and now they sat on top of their graves. So I have a clip of that to bring with me today.
When it comes to history, and I'm talking about history of people who are not necessarily famous, a lot of facts can be left up to interpretation. And to me, the way I interpreted this story, this is a love story. Not necessarily, or definitely not a love story in the traditional sense, like a fairy tale or something like that, but perhaps the greatest bond of all, and that's between parent and child. We're going to begin our tour today at Arlington East Hill Cemetery. This is part of my Indiana tour that I have done. We're going to be visiting the grave of Lova Klein. Lova Klein was a young child who passed away, and she had a severe neurological illness, and it was said that Lova couldn't move without help. She couldn't function. Her only joy was to look upon a dollhouse that her father had built her, and this dollhouse was filled with dolls that her mother had made. And that was her only joy in life that they could tell. I mean, she was just, this illness rendered her pretty well unresponsive. When Lova passed away, her father had the dollhouse moved to mark her grave. That's what we're seeing here now. Obviously, this has been refurbished to some degree, and we're going to take a look at the inside of it. And it is designed with what would appear to be, I would say, replica period toys and things like that. And I'm going to be honest,
that's unique.
Yeah, and that's a name. And there's some of these tours that just kind of run together, but that name, Lova Klein, that's just a name I don't think I'll ever forget. And reading her story, I mean, it's a heartbreaking story. And, not all history is going to bring a smile to your face, but, I think that's something that needed to be told. And I mean, could you imagine if Lova Klein's family knew that there was going to be something called the internet and something called YouTube, and thousands of people all over the world would be able to see this? I mean, they'd probably not have any idea how they even formulate that in their mind. But things like that I like to bring out, and stories I like to tell.
Yeah, that's true. And well, I'm going to get into that in a minute. I don't want to go too deep into that, but I definitely know what you're talking about there. They would have had no idea. Okay, nothing surprises me in a cemetery anymore. Some things that we saw. I saw a grave the other day that had like a bull with Jesus riding on the back of a bull with, I believe it was probably Confucius or somebody they were riding it together. It was pretty unique. Nothing surprises me
Yeah,
anymore.
I bet going to church with him would be fun.
Yeah, real neat service there for sure. But we have a couple comments on the YouTube channel too. Vanessa Hall says hello from Norwalk, Ohio. Greg says, hey guys, and Isaac Brewer says y'all's channel is awesome. And you've also had Tracy Fannin said, have you ever thought about doing a documentary on Mary Magdalene Pitts in Greenup County?
Hey Tracy, how are you? I work with Tracy. I've heard of that. Yes, I've thought of it, and I need to do a little more research on it. But I would love to do that, and that's not too far, so I could get that done pretty quick, I think. Yeah.
I bet you get lots of emails and things and messages of ideas and things to do videos on. And
I do. I get a lot, which I love it. I love getting those ideas, and actually some of those ideas I've been able to turn into videos. Now, some of those are like, next time you're out in Washington State, I got this little road you can go up. So some of them are not exactly feasible, but I love the suggestions anyway. If I'm ever in Washington State by that little road, I'll have a video lined out.
Right, there you go. Lillian Porter Smith says she was just searching for a grave in Grayson, so maybe you guys can get together. Jenny Salmon said Eastern Kentucky University is where Chris Guyton played at. Surprised I didn't know that. EKU's right down the street. I was looking at their track yesterday over there, but yeah, man, why are you doing this? I mean, what the heck is driving your train? But why?
Well, I love history. I love visiting cemeteries. I love technology. I love editing. I love music, and I love setting a goal and trying to reach it. And my goal is just to grow this channel as I can, so I can combine all those things into one. And I just enjoy what I'm doing.
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely get it. I mean, do you ever feel anything in the cemetery? Do you ever feel like they're there? Do you feel like they're
That's a very good question, and I'm not complaining about this. I'm probably the least paranormal person there is. I never feel anything. There's been a few times that I've had maybe some eerie feelings, but I've never seen anything, never heard anything. I visited a while back a abandoned tunnel, Moonville Tunnel, and I've got a clip of that with me. It's the last clip there, Jordan. But Moonville Tunnel, there is a tunnel there. It's a long abandoned ghost town, and I think maybe it topped out maybe 100 people at one time. Well, when the railroad and everything quit running through there, the town died out. And there is a cemetery, and it wasn't exactly easy to find, but there's a cemetery that was there. So in this Moonville Tunnel, me and Ms. Whittdocs walked through it, and she stood on one side and I stood on the other, and we took pictures of each other. That's what you do, right? Selfie or it didn't happen. But anyway, when I was walking through that tunnel, I'm not saying that there was anything there, but it was a little bit unnerving. So I like to, when I can do that, when I can incorporate a location or something like that in with a cemetery visit, I'll do that. I did that with the Athens Insane Asylum and this clip for Moonville.
Another source of ghostly tales stems from a conductor who lost his life in an accident while riding a train through Moonville. Whether you believe these sorts of stories or not, they are part of the lore of Moonville, and I wanted to mention them before making our way to Moonville Cemetery. So now that we have visited what is left of the abandoned ghost town and tunnel of Moonville, we are going to make our way to Moonville Cemetery. Now, I will tell you this, by the time I got there, it was dusk, so I don't have the best lighting, but that kind of added to the little bit of an eerie feeling that you got while you were there. Not many graves there, but the town was very small, so there really wasn't many people to be buried there, but we're going to make our way to Moonville Cemetery. And here we are at Moonville Cemetery, and this particular cemetery wasn't really that easy to find. It was on top of a hill, and we managed to find it. And once you get up there, there is a clearing, and this cemetery is here. But You know, this particular cemetery, it is the definition of a ghost town cemetery. There has not been a new burial in here since 1914. So, I mean, you're talking well over 100 years old just since the last burial took place here. And
yeah, that's pretty nifty. Definitely
Yeah, it is very
unique.
neat. Yeah, and it was dusk, and I'll tell you what, I wouldn't want to have been there much after dusk.
Uh-huh. Yeah, man. You definitely run into some situations. And you ever get locked in the cemetery?
No, I never have. I've been locked out of a few. Show up and they've been closed, but
Yeah,
never been locked in one.
I've been locked in a few times. I got locked in twice in the same week one time, in 2 different cemeteries.
That's
I'm like, are you
bad.
kidding me?
Yeah, I'd just call it quits and start next week, I think.
Right. Yeah. You got to call. They usually have a number you can call, to have somebody come let you there, But, those cemetery workers want to get out of there and close it down. So those winter hours are crazy out there in the cemeteries. What's the, well, I was going to say, there was a comment on there. I lost it there. Taven says if you need help in Nashville, Tennessee, let him know. He'll help you out. And Jason,
I would love to go back to Nashville.
Yeah, no doubt.
I'd love to go back to Nashville. When I first started my channel, I took a trip there and I made the mistake, which, I mean, people like it, but I visited like 21 cemeteries or 21 graves in one video. And I'm like, you know what? I could have really spread that out and had me about 6 months worth of material right there if I'd been thinking.
Yeah, there's a lot of history there in Nashville and many different genres for sure. And Jason Lamont says, "Hey Chris, watching from Lowell, Massachusetts. He said he just filmed some new videos and he's looking forward to your next one."
Hey, thanks, Jason. Jason has a channel, AJ's Vlog Factory, I believe. But he visits a lot of graves up in the Northeast, which I would love to make it there sometime.
I'll have to check that out. I didn't know about that channel. See, good job. I'm glad. AJ's Vlogs, you said?
I think that's it. A&J Vlog Factory, I believe.
Vlog Factory.
Jason, make a comment on my Facebook page and let me know what it is.
Yeah. All of us are going to be wanting to check that out for sure. Lillian says every grave has a story for sure. And Greg says he loves it when we do videos, longer form videos on Facebook and YouTube. We film a video, but then we film it live. And the long videos are usually much longer, kind of thing, and they're able to see what goes on out there. How many states have you done videos in? Have you kept track of it?
I've not really. I've not been in all that many states. I know I've the 3 that are around me: Ohio, Kentucky, of course, West Virginia, Indiana, Tennessee. I don't know if I filmed in Virginia or not. I'd love to get there. I would love to make it to DC at some point this year. I don't know if that's going to happen or not, but I would love to make it there. But honestly, I've been able to find so much history around here that, I mean, I could still just have all kinds of videos just in my area, honestly. Now, I guess anybody could say that.
Well, yeah, that's the thing about it is, what you're doing could be duplicated, in multiple different locations and things for sure. AJ's Vlog Factory, he said.
Okay.
A&J's Vlog Factory is where that's at. And I'll say it again. Where can they find your YouTube channel at?
Well, if you just go to youtube.com/Whittdocs Cemetery Tours, or if you just go to the search page and search for Whittdocs, I'll come right up. And same thing with Facebook and Instagram. So yeah, just that's my last name, Whittdocs, and that'll get you where you can find me. And I would love to have you.
2 T's.
I'm constantly, 2 T's. And I try to, when people make a comment, I try to respond to every one of those. Now, I'm not perfect. I'm sure some of those slip by me, but for the most part, I try to respond to all those because I really do. I appreciate everyone watching my videos, and I love to be able to respond and at least give them a thank you or thank them for the comment, or, ask them questions. Sometimes I learn things too.
Yeah, absolutely. And they definitely like to let you know when they don't like something too. So definitely.
They're not too shy on that. Yeah, not
music is too loud. The music was too loud on this one, you know.
I've got a few of those.
I'm like, man, some people love the music, so I don't know how to do this right, you know. But
I know, right?
That's how you learn to make a better video for sure. What's your background like? You know, I know you're a history lover, but how long have you been into history? I mean, have you ever worked in doing anything with history before you got into doing this?
No, not really. I mean, I liked history when I was younger. Now, did I appreciate it? No. I mean, I didn't. As I've gotten older, I just find myself gravitating more towards historical stuff. I mean, when I read, it's you know, the historical books. It's not the made up stuff. It's just I guess it's just what I like. But no, I don't really have any history and industry or anything like that with history. It's just a hobby.
Yeah, that's great. You know, it takes all kinds. You know, I mean, people that I find that. Well, a lot of people, history is daggone boring. You know, those that taught history a lot of times are boring. Those that talk about history a lot of times are boring. Those people that are into history sometimes are boring. I don't think it's boring at all.
It's true.
You know.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. One thing that does make it a lot more interesting is when you can actually go to the locations to where this stuff took place. You know, hearing about Colonel Sanders is okay, but when you're at his grave and you see the big statue there, it's something neat about it.
Yeah, it is. You're able to take people. I mean, you hear this all the time, I'm sure. You're able to take people to places that they'll never be able to go to. You know, they'll never be able to see.
That's true.
You know, people are curious of what's there, and some people have disabilities, or they're not able to travel to those types of things, and you're able to through your eyes be able to take them there. Kind of thing.
Yeah, so, and I get a lot of comments about that too. People who I've got that almost verbatim. Thank you for taking me to places I can't go, and that's just icing on the cake. I love being able to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. It becomes a passion. I think we're a little more angled for the history side, for the genealogy side. Once we can tie you into your DNA into a historic time or place, that story isn't a story anymore. It is real, and it becomes such an important part of who you are, and you're changed inside from that. You're able to take us to the stories of famous people, but just regular people too, and sometimes those regular people have amazing stories that nobody knows about.
Yeah, that's true. And that's some of my most popular videos, and the ones I get some of the most comments on are the people you won't read about in the history book, like. And you should go visit this, Russ, if you get the chance, in Lexington Cemetery in that Todd family plot. Dr. Lyman Beecher Todd, which was a cousin of Mary Todd Lincoln, that just happened to go visit his family in D.C., who happened to go watch a play on a certain night that happened to have Abraham Lincoln there. And he goes from a visit to his family to he's treating the president of the United States after one of the biggest tragedies in our history. So, I said in that video, it amazes me how being in the right place at the right time or wrong place at the wrong time can put you right in the middle of history.
Yeah, that's right. And funny you said that. I think today is actually the 251st anniversary of that event, isn't it?
No, I didn't realize that.
246th anniversary. I think that was today. The assassination of President Lincoln, or at least when he was shot there. So Randy Rhodes says that he loves history, especially now that he knows he's related to Daniel Boone. I guess that makes it real
there
for
you
sure.
Go. That's it.
Taven says, do you all ever go out and film in Eastern Kentucky, like Letcher, Perry, Knott, and Breathitt counties?
I've been real close. There was one that I did. Actually had Lincoln's uncle in there. It was in Campton, I believe, which I don't think is terribly far from where he's talking about. And
no.
On my intro video, you'll see a little sign on there. I go through little clips when that little intro's playing. You'll see something on there, a little broken sign that said burying ground. Didn't say cemetery or graveyard, but it said burying ground. That's actually from that cemetery. So yeah, I do. I've been all around that area, and I would love to. If you have any suggestions, give them to me. I'd love to hear them. Yeah,
we plan to do a series. I think so that one of our nuts here at Family Tree Nuts is going to be doing a whole big series up in Breathitt County and Bloody Breathitt, and all the feuds and things like that went on up there. So that's coming very soon for sure.
Oh, yeah.
So
that's good. That's good. I look forward to that.
Yeah, Greg says the Todd family were Confederates. Yeah, that is an interesting story for sure. I think Abraham had 3 brother-in-laws, I think, that were Confederates. You know, 1 brother-in-law that was Union, I think. But quite unique story there for sure.
Oh, for sure. And
Go ahead.
I was going to say, you'll see a lot of that in Kentucky. You research family trees in Kentucky, you'll see a lot of it.
No doubt. Do you ever get into people's genealogy while you're doing the work, or are you just looking for who's there and kind of telling their stories?
Yeah, pretty much that. I mean, I do touch on some genealogy if I think it's something that would be of interest. Like one cemetery, I think I found the great uncle of, it was maybe Harry Truman, one of the presidents. I can't remember which one, so I mentioned that. I don't specifically go there looking for genealogy per se. The last video I did, I visited the grave of Rosanna McCoy and Jonesy Hatfield. So I mean, if it's something like that, I'll definitely mention genealogy. But for me to specifically go to seek that out, I normally don't.
Walk up that hill. I think you did that. Did you do that pretty recently, didn't you?
Yeah, we went. Me and Miss Whittdocs went. It was last weekend, I believe, Saturday, I think. That was I had to catch my breath before I started filming.
Every time I've been there, it's been blazing hot. Kind of thing.
Oh my goodness!
But it's pretty unique up there. Sandy Carson says also Dr. Bryan bought the property from the Heights. Not sure what I think she made a comment earlier that I lost it there. We'll have to scroll back up there and find that. Jason says, what is the grave that you most want to visit?
As far as graves goes, most want to visit. I mean, there are some I would love. I'd love to go to Lincoln's tomb. I've never been there. I'd love to go to Ronald Reagan's grave. But really, I mean, more so than one particular grave, I've been here before, but I want to get to Arlington. And I mean, I know a lot of these channels have an Arlington video, but I don't. So I would love to make it to Arlington. There's just so many stories there to tell. Definitely I'd love to do a Kennedy video.
It'd be hard to do that one. I've been to that gravesite several times, and even in bad weather, there's been a lot of people around, kind of thing. So,
yeah, for sure.
So it's hard to do it live, I guess, to do that for sure. Vanessa says it's an all-time natural high to go to historical places, and seriously awesome that we have folks like you that bring us even more places that we may not be able to go to. And she's loving that. So yeah, absolutely. And it's definitely a passion, kind of thing. So we at Family Tree Nuts, we feel like we are, I got to tell you, man, to me, it's absolutely spiritual, like I don't have no paranormal stuff going on, but I kind of feel like these people are, being in heaven or purgatory or in the wind or wherever they are. I believe that they are appreciative of somebody out there keeping their memory alive. And a lot of times these people have been forgotten for decades, if not centuries, kind of thing. And somebody like you or me or our guys at Family Tree Nuts come along and brings new life into these people. Now they're going to be remembered forever through the power of what we're doing here with, YouTube and the internet and things. So to me, I'm getting a little excited here, but to me, that is absolutely powerful that we're able to honor those people that way.
Yeah, me too. I love it. I did a video recently on Frances Farmer, which I didn't know much about her, but she was an actress, and she had some mental issues, and so many people commented on that video, "Hey, I remember her," or I think Nirvana did a song about her, I believe. And I mean, just a lot of memories that it stirred up with people. So it ended up being a pretty popular video that I did. And another thing that amazes me too, a lot of these celebrity graves that you go to, I mean, you think they're going to be exquisite and large monuments, large markers. A lot of times you may get a first and last name and a year of birth and death. I mean, it's amazing how simple some of the stones are.
Yeah, absolutely. You're looking and looking, so-and-so's buried here, and you're on Find a Grave or something like that, trying to figure out what it looks like and looking for a reference point to find them. And it's much simpler. like you said, it's
Yeah.
a name and on there. This was somebody that was world famous and a multi-millionaire kind of thing, you know, just a simple gravestone. You don't take it with you, I guess. So
That's true.
yeah. So what is your goal? What is the bottom? What is your goal with Whittdocs? You know, and besides just, you know, hey, we want to make as many as we can and things like that. Where do you want to take this program and what you're doing? Where do you want to take that?
Well, I remember when I very first started, I thought, you know, if I could just get 1,000 subscribers, I feel like I would have made it. Because I mean, you normally get partnered at 1,000. Well, all 1,000 wanted or made me want to do is get 5,000, and then all that would made me want to do is get 10,000, and then now I'm almost at 15. So I want to keep right on going. I would love to get one of those silver play buttons, and you get those at 100,000. So if I had to set a goal, I mean, I think that would be it. And why not? You know, shoot for the stars, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and you know, a lot of people think that people are making all kinds of money at it, and I think there's a couple of people that make a lot of money at it, but it's not about that. It's about the passion of getting the story out there, isn't it?
It is. And something else that I really appreciate is the community that I've made. I mean, some of these, I get a lot of comments on mine, and some of those names I see popping up over and over. And some of the names that I see now commented on my very first video. So I love the sense of community that I have with my channel. And I always wanted to be that way. I wanted to be inviting and a place where people can share ideas and thoughts. And, you know, for the most part, it's been a really great community. You know, you get the occasional, you know, knucklehead every now and then, but you get those everywhere, don't you?
Yes, you know, kind of thing. And yeah, people love to let you know when you're wrong. I guess that kind of thing, and they love to see when you misspeak. One of our biggest videos is Cotton Top. You're talking about the Hatfields and McCoys. Cotton Top, you know, and I made this statement in the video. It was the last public hanging in Kentucky, and there's a pinned comment that as soon as you go to the comments, the first thing you see is that I'm incorrectly stated this, but I'm telling you on a daily basis, somebody tells me that was wrong, you know, kind of thing, you know, and we leave it on there because it's one of the most popular videos. And it's one of the first ones we did. It's absolutely terrible. So if you go check that out, the quality of it is horrendous, but
I did the same thing. Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. We got a little bit of a lag here, a little bit of a delay. But I did that on. It was actually I did a video on a couple of restaurant icons, Bob Evans and I think this is one, Bob Evans and Dave Thomas, and I told the wrong year of Dave Thomas's death. And the funny thing is, I'm like, he died, and I forget what I said, 2001 or 2002, and right on the screen as I said that, clearly it was a different year, and people took great pride in letting me know and great joy that how wrong I was on that. So I think I've got a comment on there too. I believe that, it was wrong.
One of my favorite responses is, "I look forward to your next YouTube video." You know, thanks. So I look forward. I look forward to your next one. So, but it's a lot harder than it looks, and a lot of time that's involved. About if you were from start to finish, like let's say you come up with a video idea, about how much time is in there from the time that it's an idea in your head to the time that the people are watching it? You'd say on average. I know it's different.
Yeah, well, it depends. From the time I film, if I'm doing a famous grave video where I do more of a documentary style, I mean, it can take a solid week of editing where I have time to edit. You know, this is not a full-time job for me. This is right now it's a hobby. But so yeah, I mean, it can take a pretty solid week of editing for me during which time I have to edit. Now, the country cemetery tours, most of the time, I do those as a watch-along style where I speak as I'm going through the places. Those don't take near as long because there's not as much research. But the famous, I mean, I try to get a video out a week. It doesn't always work. And sometimes I'm able to get a couple videos out a week. It just depends on my schedule and my workload. But, you know, most of the time when I load one, I mean, if it's a famous grave, I mean, it's a week before I'm able to get another one up, if then.
Yeah, you know, I mean, you've got anywhere from an hour to 3 hours of research, you know, that you've done there, and you get to travel and shooting and all that and editing. But if I had to give a number, I'd say that there's probably 7 hours, in one video, in one 7 or 8 minute video, in the long run that's spent, and sometimes much more, some kind of things.
Yeah, it's not as easy. It's not as easy as it looks, especially the editing, because you got to make sure all that. I mean, I'm not exactly a perfectionist, but I want my stuff to look pretty good, it's, for my ability anyway. And it takes some time to edit it down and get the voices right. And, a lot of times I get comments about people liking my narrations, but they don't hear all the ones I have to throw away,
Yeah.
And there's a lot of those. I'll tell you, I could string together a pretty good blooper reel if I didn't delete all of them.
I'm sure of that. So we start out, we just say the same thing over and over again until we get it right. And the editors, we have an editing team at Steady Live that does our videos, and they know that the last time we say something, that's the clip to keep. The rest of it just,
exactly. The last one on there is the one you look at first. Yeah, I get that.
Right.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Sometimes a 45-minute video gets cut to 7 minutes, when it's all said and done. So
I've been there.
Yeah. So what else would you like to let everybody know? I mean, but my goal with this was to introduce Whittdocs Cemetery tours to the people that watch Family Tree Nuts videos, because if you like our videos, you're going to like their videos, so why not turn you on to some other shows that are just like it? What else would you like the people to know this evening before we get out of here?
Well, as far as my channel goes, I do like to make it a thing. Everyone has a voice, and I love getting feedback. But feel free to like and subscribe to my videos, and I love the comments. I love the interaction. So with me, it's more of a community than it is just me providing some sort of a video or entertainment, whatever you want to call it. I really don't like that word too much, entertainment, but that's what I want people to know. I mean, the history is everywhere. I'm not doing anything that anyone else couldn't get out there and do if you're able-bodied and all that. And for those who can't get out there, I love being able to bring those videos to people. So, history is everywhere. I love being right in the middle of it. And on my channel, it's always going to be historic and always going to have a cemetery involved. So I would love to have everyone out there come and subscribe and, say hello.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm glad you said that, because the people are getting, the younger people, and I say, yeah, I'm 45, but people that are younger than me, those people don't keep cable, they don't know how to dish, they don't have anything. They have YouTube, Disney Plus, Hulu, Netflix, all that kind of thing. So the beauty about these YouTube things is that you can actually talk to you, like literally, you can communicate with you and interact. Ask questions that you can't ask on a regular TV show, and give suggestions or ideas and things. So it is different. It really is. It's very personal. So
yeah, very interactive, it's a good thing,
Yeah. So I tell you what, I'd like to. Sandy says from what she's seen so far, you do excellent work. So hopefully, so make sure you guys, if you like Family Tree Nuts videos, go over to Whittdocs Cemetery Tours, subscribe to their page, click that little bell to make sure that you get notifications when we post new videos. And same for us, if you're watching this because of Whittdocs Cemetery Tours, check us out at Family Tree Nuts. And I tell you what, Chris, we'd love again soon, to do some videos. I've talked a little bit about that, but we'll find some good history topics.
Yeah, it's amazing once we got to talking, and I didn't realize this. I figured you had to be kind of close to me because I recognize some of the areas, but I mean, we're very close. And also, I do plan to upload this video to my channel. So if you are a Whittdocs viewer, subscribe to Family Tree Nuts. It's a great video. He offers great services too, so check out their Facebook page as well.
Yeah, man, absolutely appreciate that. So anything else you want to say before we take off? No,
I just hope to see you all in the future. And I've got some exciting things coming up. I've got a lot of videos already filmed. I haven't even made it halfway through that Indiana visit. That Crown Hill Cemetery is unbelievable. So I've got a lot of exciting things coming. So please like and subscribe and join me and find me and talk to me. We'll interact and talk, and got great things on the horizon.
Awesome, man. Good deal. Look forward to it big time. And Well, we'll sign off for now. I know tomorrow we've got myself and Jameson are going to be on here. We'll be showing you the new website of the Kentucky History Podcast. It's very, very informative. I'm blown away. I've actually tried not to look at it a whole lot because you're going to really enjoy it. It's going to be a great resource for Kentucky history that's on there. So we'll sign off for now, guys. And hey, remember, family tree nuts. Let our nuts find the nuts in your family tree. At Family Tree Nuts, we make professional, historic videos all over the country and currently have videos in 25 states and even a few international. Let's face it, nobody wants to read anymore. As a matter of fact, nobody wants to even watch long videos, which is why I'm going to keep this real quick. Moving into the future, how are we going to educate the public on all the historic treasures that are found in every community? We have found the answer. Short, entertaining, and to-the-point videos with lots of shots and views that are relevant to the subject. These videos are shared on social media and are the fastest and least expensive way to educate the community on the history of your area. We have experience working with historical organizations as well as city or county tourism departments and Chamber of Commerce's to produce these videos for their use. Our clients are provided with copies of any video produced as well as online links to the videos that they can easily add to their websites. Let us document and produce videos of just a few or all the historic sites in your area. You will find our rates extremely affordable and well below the industry standard for media production. We are passionate about preserving and documenting as many historical sites as we can, and we would love to work with you. For more information, contact me directly at russ@familytreenuts.org or my personal phone at 859-314-1976. And remember, Family Tree Nuts, let our nuts find the nuts in your family tree.